What's going on, Disney adults? Welcome home, welcome to a brand new video. Happy Stitch Day. It is 26th of the 6th as you are watching this video. 626 Day, Stitch. I'm dressed as Stitch. We're going to be talking about the live action Lilo and Stitch movie. This is off the cuff, it's not scripted in any way. This is just my thoughts on what I thought about the movie. Diving into what I think about it. And of course, it is everyone's opinion. I've seen it shared around a little bit with people's opinions, things like that. I'm going to put mine out there as well. First thing I want to put out there is the promotion for this movie was insanely cool. There was so much promotion, probably more promotion than they've done in a long time for any movie. They've remade some classic posters from the 2002 version, the animated version, and it's a lot of fun. I really have enjoyed the promotion that I've seen for the movie up to the run-in and beyond. Kind of crazy to see. The CGI looks pretty dang good, you know, and there's so many characters that have reprised their roles and new roles as well, that have made cameos in always like a main pinnacle role in the movie. Chris Sanders returns as Stitch. He was the director of the original Lilo and Stitch movie and the voice of Stitch as well. So to be able to have the original voice back is kind of like a big dream, you know, because he really brought Stitch life. That is, you know, he made him who he is and how he acts, and you know, he is Stitch. Like, Chris Sanders is fantastic at what he does. And the promo stuff he was doing for it was just insanely cool. So big shout out to Chris Sanders for doing that. And yeah, there was a lot of people that have reprised their roles as well. The original voice of Nanny, Tiara Carey, was one of the social workers that was trying to help Nanny and Lilo figure out life and stuff like that. Amy Hill, who played Mrs. Hawagawa in the original, plays a lady called Tutu, which is their next door neighbour, which is a lot of fun. So you know, she's got a new character, she's got a new role, and she's reprising herself and as a character within this movie. Yeah, this movie was, yeah. I think before we get into that, I want to talk about how the movie was, and my opinions on it and things like that. Now, I want to put this out there. The movie was, for me, was not a remake. It was a retelling of the Lilo and Stitch story. Now, I know a lot of people get a lot of stick for, like, you know, companies get a lot of stick for why do that? Why bring the same characters back for a new telling of the story? And I completely agree. I do agree with that. But with this one, it was done in a way that was original to a true source of material, and it was in itself its own movie. It was that, for me, it was that fine balance of the retelling. And the only one that I can feel has done that in the past was with Aladdin, the live action Aladdin, with Will Smith as a genie and with Naomi Scott as Jasmine. And you know, I was reluctant to watch that because no one can do what Robin Williams did. But Will Smith made it his own. He didn't try to take it away from Robin. He made it his own spin. And this is what they've done with this movie as well. They've taken the original source and made it into their own movie, taking the key aspects and some new ones into the story. Now, I know this movie gets a lot of stick for how the ending is, and we'll get to that. But before we do, I want to talk about the actual story of Lilo and Stitch, because it's different to the original. The way they've done it, the Gantu is not in it. Captain Gantu is not in it, which was a bit of an upsetting statement to find out, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Pleakley and Jumba are in there. Now they've got some slight changes. They turn into humans instead of just, wearing clothes and Pleakley cross-dressing. That's not a part of his character in this one. I do want to point out though, he does wear some interesting outfits. There are a few in there that I was thinking, oh, this is actually pretty cool. He, for Pleakley being the character that he is and being, like cross-dressing and wearing, dresses and sun hats and all that kind of stuff. There was a few outfits there where he was wearing, I was like, oh, yeah, that kind of makes sense. So that was fun. Jumba is the villain of this movie. Gantu's not in it, but Jumba is the villain of this movie. Played by Zach Galifianakis. I'm not a huge fan of Zach Galifianakis. I'm not. I just don't like his presence. I don't like how he comes across. He did all right in this. He did all right. He was not a star show, not a star player for me personally. But yeah, he was there. It's fine. Pleakley was played by Billy Magnuson, I believe. He knocked the role out of the park 100%. I truly enjoyed his role of the character of Pleakley. I think he did it justice with what he was given, and he brought the character to life in a way that I'm satisfied with, not 100%. No, Gantu. Hannah Waddingham was the Grand Councilwoman. Hannah Waddingham is a big presence in UK TV and UK movies and things like that. And she's dipping her toes into Hollywood as well. She's been in a few roles, I believe, in Hollywood. But I like her in this. It's a lot of fun. And the characters that were playing Nanny and Lilo, Sydney Adagong, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, and little girl Maya, they were fantastic. They were superb. They did a fantastic job, and yeah, they really brought those characters to life. And so yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really did. There was a lot of iconic moments in the movie. Not as many as I would have hoped. Some of them being the fight scene between Lilo and Myrtle. That would have been a great one. One of my favourite scenes is where she's doing voodoo with like the pickle jar and spoons, and she's listening to Elvis, and she says to Bubbles, "My friends need to be punished." That would have been great. Yeah, there's just some iconic scenes that didn't make it for me personally, but there is other iconic scenes that made it or were adapted to the movie. One of which being the stuff, the lei being put on and Stitch just chilling out. Like that's a big iconic scene for the movie as well. Yeah, and so I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this movie. Now, let's get into the ending, because the ending is what causes all the controversy and caused a big stink. I'm a little bit late to it, but I wanted to gather my thoughts and, talk about it in a way that, and obviously it's Stitch Day, so that's why it's out today. But yeah, so the ending of this movie was controversial to people. People didn't like it. There was an uproar, and I understand that. The whole meaning of Lilo and Stitch is Ohana. You know, Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. I get that. But to take into account that, and for Nanny to also do what she wants to do, I get it. I get the ending. I do. I get the ending. Now, it doesn't take away from the original where Nanny stays, her and David get together, and you know they live in the house, and you know they do the they live in the house with everyone, with Jumba and Pleakley, and David comes, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. I get it. I completely understand that. What I don't understand is why people were so outraged by it. I understand it's different. I understand that people are like, yes, Lilo and Stitch, this is what it's about. And it is still about that. It is still about that. I have seen many people on like, you know, forums and things like that, and just be like, why don't she take Lilo with her to university? What would that solve? That wouldn't solve anything. Lilo wouldn't be in school. Nanny wouldn't be able to look after her because of the classes and things like that she has to take to, because she wants to be a marine biologist. She wouldn't have a stable home. You know, like the whole point of family, it isn't just your immediate family. Family can be anyone. There is many people in my life that are not immediate family that I consider family. You know, there's aunts, there's uncles, there's you know, so many other people, and I've known them since I was a baby. I've known them for absolute years. They're my mum's friends, and they've seen me grow up. They've seen all of us, all of my two brothers grow up as well. They're family. If worse comes to the worst and something were to happen to anyone, they'd probably step in and help out as much as they can. But with family isn't just your immediate family. It's not just who you live with. It is your extended family. Your family who isn't just blood, you know. It's family's not just blood relatives. Family is anyone who is a part of your life who you consider to look up to. And Nanny looked up to Tutu, and so did Lilo. Tutu is part of the family. They are part of Ohana. They are part of Nanny's Ohana. They are part of Lilo's Ohana. They are part of Stitch's Ohana. They are a family. They're not in the same house. Fair. They're not. She's literally right next door. She is the next door neighbour. I don't see a big deal with it. I don't see a big problem with it. It makes no sense to me why people are getting in an uproar about that. Times are changing. Families are bigger. Families are more extended out. Families live closer together, further apart, what have you. You know, it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. People are making a big deal out of it, and it's just not a big deal. It's not. I get that. If you can't look after yourself, how are you meant to look after others? For someone who works in childcare, that is a big thing. If you are not well enough, you can't look after other people. You can't look after yourself. If you can't look after yourself, you can't look after other people. So I get it. I get where the contradictions coming from. People like, oh well, this is XYZ, this isn't right, blah 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 blah. But family is a broader term nowadays. Family just isn't who you live with in the house. Family is people who you admire, you look up to, people you've known your whole life who are not blood related. And so with that, these are my thoughts. I really, really enjoyed the live action Lilo and Stitch. Is it better than the original? No. In some ways, maybe. In other ways, no. the original will always be my favourite. It will always be my most favourite movie in the whole wide world. It will. I can't deny that. I absolutely love Lilo and Stitch. It is the first movie I ever kind of like resonated with as a child, and I adore it. I adore the characters. I adore the story. But to have it retold to a newer generation, and to be told, for it to be retold in this day and age with a new kind of meaning of Ohana, and with how to look after yourself and how to look after others as well, is a big deal. You know, a lot of children, a lot of people don't have the same mindset as someone of my age or someone older than me, you know. And with that, it needs that message out there that people can look after themselves in order to look after others, and be able to provide for not only themselves but for those that they care and love for and cherish. I know I do. I do it every day. One of my big things is family. I love my family to bits, you know. But not just my immediate family. I love my aunties, I love my uncles, I love my friends. I consider my friends to be family. I consider my aunties and uncles that I've known for literally 30 years of my life, my whole life, I consider them family. And I always will do, because they have been there in tough times and good times, and yeah, that they are family. So with that, this video turned out to be a little bit of a rant towards the end, but please take the message that it's telling us in the live action Lilo and Stitch, that Ohana is the key importance of the movie still. But in order to look after your family, it is okay to look after yourself and do what you want to do to provide for your family in the future. What do you think about the live action Lilo and Stitch? Have you seen it? If you have seen it, let me know. Did you enjoy the ending? Did you prefer it to the original? Let me know all these things. Let me know. Start a discussion down below. Please tell me what you think, and we can have a chat down in the comments as well. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.